I'm Tarzan. And the most common question that people ask me is, did your parents give you that name? Another common question, where's Jane? My husband loves that one because his name's Jay. But what I really wish people would ask me is, how do I write emails that sell? Because guess what? I only do email. My Instagram feed is not color coordinated at all. It's mostly pictures of my kids. They're super cute, so check it out. But I don't do 5-day challenges. I don't do the 3-part video series. I don't do any of that. My entire business is based on email. ConvertKit is also my livelihood. And just last month, my business, I'm so proud of this, my business made $166,000 paid in full in the bank, and I finished the month with a 0 balance credit card. But here's what's even cooler. Guess how many people on my email list? Not 100,000, not 20,000, 5,000. I have 5,000 subscribers. Thank you. So I want to ask you, when you think about writing emails, specifically promotional emails, what comes to your mind? So just raise your hand if you are like, ugh, it makes me want to barf one promotional email. Anyone? Okay. I felt that way too. Or maybe you are like, I can do it, but it takes me 3 double espressos and 2 boxes of Krispy Kreme to write one promotional email. Anyone? Yeah, okay. Okay, so that means all the rest of you are like, email's where the money is, baby, yeah. I love you, and DJ Khaled loves you too. But these feelings, this is all true, and I see this from my 7-figure private clients to the students in my email program. These feelings are real, and there's no right or wrong. But if you need to throw up and eat a whole box of Krispy Kremes, you might be missing out on this critical piece of your success, and that's email. So today, I'm going to give you the super ninja moves to writing emails that sell. But before we do that, I have found that there are all these stories that we tell ourselves about why we can't send more emails. So we gotta start by debunking those stories, and then we can get on to the super cool tactics, okay? So the first story that we tell ourselves about why we can't send more email is this one. I'm not good at writing. And if you feel that way, you should know that this is something you can change. And I wanna tell you about learning to drive a stick shift car. So I always thought this was the coolest skill that you could have, but I didn't get my license until I was 30, and I didn't have a chance to learn, so I just never learned until I met my husband, and he drove this incredible chick magnet, 1999 Honda Civic, love at first sight. And it's a stick shift, so he taught me to drive, and I was fucking terrified. I would be driving with my hands at 10 and 2, my whole body so tense. Certain areas of town that had hills, I just did not go there. But now, 6 years later, I'm like Fast and Furious, baby. I'm awesome at it. So I know you know why I'm telling you this story. Great writers write. That's the whole secret. You gotta show up every day and keep writing. Just keep writing every day and it becomes normal, just like driving. Do you ever get driver's block? No! This is not some special talent that you need to be born with. It is cultivated. We can all become great writers, but you gotta show up and you gotta do the writing. And if just write feels too simplistic, which I understand it might, I have something that I call Tarzan's treasure box, and in that treasure box is my very coveted stash of swipes. And you can do this too, which is just when you find a compelling email, save it, but first, look at it. What's the hook? How did they draw you in? How is it formatted? Look at what did they use to keep you reading? Are they telling stories? You are going to learn to be a better writer just by reading other great emails. But another story, very common story, I'll just get Tarzan to do it. No problem, I'm just gonna outsource it, which is great. But just like that hot wedding planner that everyone wants to hire, but you can't get on her schedule, so you hire some other wedding planner. And I gotta tell you about my wedding, okay? So when my husband and I decided to get married, we were like, we're just gonna hand it off to the wedding planner, like, I don't wanna talk about napkins, I don't wanna talk about centerpieces, you do it, we'll show up. But I was hoping for something like this, like, see those color-coordinated napkins, pretty chairs? You wanna see what I got? I'm totally kidding. I would never outsource something as important as my wedding. Never, ever. But this is what most of us dream of doing with a copywriter. And doing that with a wedding coordinator results in this. Doing that with a copywriter, if you're not ready for it, may result in copy that doesn't sound like you and doesn't convert. But you're probably thinking, like, hang on a second, what if I want to hire a copywriter? That's cool. Lots of people on stage, probably everyone is working with a copywriter. I work with copywriters. I used to be a copywriter, so yeah. But let me let you in on a secret. My most successful clients are actively involved in their own copy. Sometimes they even write their own copy. And that's because the best copywriting is collaborative. Ask any copywriter. It's never like, hey, Tarzan, just like write whatever you want. I just want to make some sales. You might have told your copywriter, my tone is funny. But your funny might be different from her funny. It's sort of like expecting your wedding planner to know that Uncle Al has a shellfish allergy. Super unlikely, right? The most successful entrepreneurs are great copywriters themselves. I see this again and again. So if you want to have a good experience with a copywriter, it needs to be collaborative. The better you are at copywriting, the better the results you're going to get. Learning to write, essential step, you can't skip it. But here's another thing that you may be telling yourself about why you can't send email. I don't have anything interesting to say. I will tell you how to overcome this one because I've thought that too. So I thought if I didn't have like an 87-figure launch, I couldn't email my list to talk about business, right? And you may have thought like, well, I didn't drop out of law school or study jazz piano. I didn't become a monk for 3 years or like start a charity for the elephants of Africa. I don't have anything interesting to say. So I want to show you one of my most popular emails. I wrote about the cost of replacement toothbrush heads at Costco, and the response was so great that I put it into an evergreen sales funnel. So yeah, I know the feeling of not having anything interesting to say, but what I have found is that what my subscribers most respond to are stories that are relatable, just relatable. So you do not need to climb Mount Everest to have something interesting to write about. Anyone can relate to buying expensive, overpriced replacement toothbrush heads at Costco. So once I wrote that email, I had like a light bulb go off, like ding, ding, ding. Oh, that's an alarm bell. Ding, ding, ding. I just need to keep track of these little slices of life that might make great email. So another thing in Tarzan's treasure box is my story library. So an example, I was flying here on Friday from Toronto to Boise, and I was in business class, which is kind of new for me, and I was just like trying to play it cool, like I do this all the time. And I was really surprised to find that you still have to pay for in-flight Wi-Fi. And if you're on my email list, you're gonna get an email about that next week for sure. So there you have it. If you have ever been frustrated by the cost of in-flight Wi-Fi or whatever you purchased at Costco, you have something interesting to say. And I know you're going to think about me the next time you're at Costco. So if you write an email about it, make sure you send it to me. Another very common story, super common at many stages of business, is this one. People will unsubscribe if I email them. And that one's actually true. We have all unsubscribed and resubscribed and unsubscribed to all these different lists, right? But here's what you think happens. So you think that you get this email, which goes like this. Dear Tarzan, your content, I don't want your content. Your writing is awful, and I will never be back. And P.S., you're a failure. And also, you should go on a diet. So that's what we think happens, but here's what actually happens, okay? A number decreases by 1. That's all that happens. There's no hate mail. No hate mail. And here's another secret. The most successful online businesses that I have worked with have incredibly high unsubscribes. But here's what's really cool. The highest unsubscribes come in direct correlation with the highest profit. Highest unsubscribes, highest profit. I'm guessing every single one of you is on someone's email list that absolutely pummels you with emails a couple times per year, right? Was anybody else on that Tony Robbins launch? Come on. I didn't even know I was on his email list, and suddenly Tony's emailing me 47 times in one day. During a promotional period, you're sending more email. Therefore, more unsubscribes. It comes with the territory. I get dozens of unsubscribes every time I send an email about my group program, Email Stars. Do you think I care? I used to care when I thought I was going to get hate mail from people telling me I have to go on a diet. I don't care anymore. I care that the right people hear my message and the wrong people, boom, see you later. But if we're really being honest here, the truth is we're all scared of someone somewhere out there not liking us. And I'm going to give you some tough love today, okay? If you need every single person on your email list to love you, you are going to struggle to grow your business. So I would tell you, Nathan would tell you, Rachel going to tell you, embrace unsubscribes. They're actually telling you that you're on the right track. So I've saved the last story for last because it was the biggest doozy for me, okay? There are things in life that are so comfortable, and there are things in life that are really uncomfortable. And this last one definitely falls into the category of uncomfortable. So I want to take you back to 2012. This is my first website. It was just a blog. It had no business plan. Weird, that didn't work. Next website, I was going to meditate for 2 hours a day for a year. Didn't work either, but I was determined. These next two didn't even live long enough for Wayback Machine to get a screenshot. But third time around, I was going to teach people how to make homemade soap, because I can do that, right? It's very dangerous. The next time around, I was going to teach people how to make fermented sodas. I was like, kombucha is so hot right now. People are going to love this. I called them Tarzan's Weird Sodas. And my signature flavor, just wait, pine needle soda. You think I was 12, I was 30. I thought if I make a website that's cool enough, people will just give me money without me ever having to ask for it. So that's the last one. I was scared to sell. I was uncomfortable selling. So some of you may also feel a little bit uncomfortable selling, like people will get mad at you for trying to sell them something. But the problem with all of those websites was the same. I was uncomfortable selling. I didn't want to be this guy. And every one of us has someone, like this villain in our space, that person that we just don't want to be. But when you don't make the offer, you let the villain win. You let Cersei win the Iron Throne. Someone's going to make that sale. Why not you? Because all we have is time, and we don't have that much. You're here because you have a mission, and you have a message. And if you are going to spread that message, you have to release the fear of offending someone, of being told you're too expensive, or of someone saying, no, thank you. Your job is not to make people like you. Your job is to show up and to do the work and to make the offer so you can help the people who need you. Can I get an amen? So now that we have cleared all our stories, we can move on to the tactics for writing emails that sell, okay? And the first one is the rule of one. So I do these 1-hour express sessions with clients, and this is the most common mistake I see. 1 email, 1 job. That means you do not link to your latest blog post. And then also a podcast interview you just did. And way down here, hey, P.S., would you like to work with me? One email, one job. That means all links point to the same place. Now, if, like me, you spent 1,000,000 years and $1 million at university, you are probably writing at like in a slightly academic way. Hemingway app can help you take your writing down to a 5th or 6th grade reading level. And it's not because your subscribers have the IQ of a 5th grader. It's because we're all busy and there's 1,000,000 things trying to grab at our attention all day long. Another tip. Now, I know it's only like 10:30 a.m., but I'm pretty sure we all understand the importance of foreplay. So I'm going to ask you, which email would you rather read? This one or this one? So the email on the left, interestingly, is actually a really great email, but you can't tell because it's buried in terrible formatting. The email on the right, this one right here, this is an email I wrote for my client, Amy Porterfield. It's 400 pixels wide. The font is nice and big and easy to read, lots of space between paragraphs, very clear hot link text. Formatting is foreplay, guys. Another tip is to add pictures and GIFs. I challenge you, come on, do you not love this? I'm obsessed with makeagif.com. I put them in so many emails. Add pictures and GIFs, just like they should tell a little bit about your email, give their eye something to grab a hold of, and make them want to keep reading. Now, this is like a really obvious one, duh, Tarzan, add a call to action, right? But here's the problem, is that what I see is that we will say to ourselves, well, I didn't write a new blog post, I'm not launching anything, I just won't email my list this week. One of the most powerful commitments you will ever make to your business is to email them every single week. And in order to do that, you gotta schedule time to write. If you don't schedule it, it's not gonna happen. But what I don't want you to do is this. You do not, thank you, I appreciate your dedication, but you do not need a whole day to write emails. Set your time timer for 30 minutes, and when it's done, you hit send, okay? It's easy peasy. So I have so many more ninja moves that I'm gonna teach in my workshop today at 2 p.m., but before we get there, someone asked me, right before I got on stage, do I think that anyone can write emails? And I don't. I don't think that anyone can do this. But I have been here since Friday, and I know this is not a room full of anyone. This is a room full of dedicated entrepreneurs who have spent time and money to be here. You are not anyone. It is a room full of risk takers, of people who are not afraid to try and fail and do more scary things. Can anyone write emails that sell? Nope. Can you? I know you can. So go get them, go write those emails, and come to my workshop at 2 p.m.